know a lot of people, like you had like some specific questions, challenges, some things like that. So thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. This is Ryan, the head of marketing at G2. So, I mean, this guy has built, I mean, what's growth been like year over year?
It's, I mean, at least 2 to 3x, yeah, on revenue. But all of our other metrics, like traffic's been, we're going at like 5 to 10% week on week at the moment.
Week on traffic?
Yeah, week on week, yeah. Yeah, really strong growth.
How many of you guys know what G2 does? A handful? A few people?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, well, now, yeah, they've met you now. So cool. So what we thought we could do is just talk a lot about maybe some marketing trends, sales trends that we're thinking. And if you all have a few questions, happy to kind of shoot the shit, give you guys some insights into what we're seeing in the market. We signed the longest contract in G2 crowd history. You know?
Really? No, I did not even know that.
3 years and 1 month. I told Clay, they basically, a lot of their sales leaders were the guys that I hired at Glassdoor a long time ago. And so I was like, I believe in what these guys are doing so much. It's like, I want to sign the longest contract in G2 crowd history. They're like, it's 3 years. They're like, it's 3 years. I go, how about 3 years and 1 month? They're like, fine. And Clay's like, fine, Jake. Like, we'll do it just for that. So cool. So maybe, I mean, again, maybe talk about some of the things that you guys have seen in the market, meaning what do you feel like has been the strategies from a marketing side that have helped you all to grow so quick?
Yeah, sure. I mean, so I joined G2. Can you guys hear me okay? But like this? Cool. So I joined G2 a little under 2 years ago. We were around 200 employees. There were about 5 people in marketing, and we probably had at that point in time about 50 people in sales. And there really was a pretty horrible relationship between sales and marketing. So the previous CRO and CMO didn't really get along together. Marketing was completely working in a silo. It was a bit of a hot mess. And so I think like for me coming in, like the first and most important thing was like working out how we got really tightly aligned to sales. And it was interesting because the board, when I joined, they gave me like 3 specific goals. It was like, Ryan, we need you to grow our traffic. And traffic's like exceptionally important to us, more so than it was when, I've always worked as a B2B SaaS vendor. So I was at HubSpot before G2, I was at Salesforce before HubSpot, and then ExactTarget and Microsoft before then. And I've always like led marketing, and traffic was important to us, but it was more about leads and revenue. Yeah. Whereas like for us, because we're a marketplace, even if like we don't innovate at all on our like back-end tools for sales like reps that work at vendor companies, if we don't have any traffic coming to our site, like there's no buyers. Like that's ultimately what our sellers, software companies, many of you guys here today, that's what you're looking for. So the board really wanted me to get focused on the traffic piece, and then build a demand gen funnel for sales and marketing to align. And to be completely honest, like the demand gen team we built, it's like, I don't think it's that innovative. It's like very much like blocking and tackling, like getting like a list of strategic accounts between sales and marketing, working out like what events we were going to sponsor, like really basic stuff. None of that had been done. So like marketing was just sending off emails, choosing trade shows here and there. There was just no connection. And then the third thing they asked me to do was like to build a brand that people like will know and love. And so I focused on traffic first. And so the big thing that I did to really help grow traffic, which helps us in sales, is I hired a lot of writers. So like coming from HubSpot, I'm obviously a bit biased, but I've seen like how valuable content can be to a business. So at HubSpot, we were driving 8 million visitors through our site every month. And what's great about content when you own it, obviously, is that like it's not like advertising whereby every dollar you spend burns off. And yeah, it might give you some revenue, but unless you keep putting the money back in, mummy or daddy Google, like it's gonna like fly away. Whereas with content, the entire marketing team could go on vacation for a month, and we would still generate around 8 million visitors every month because like it was content that we created and we owned it on our website. So I kind of like built out a pretty big strategy for us around content, and it's, I think a lot of people do content, but most people don't do content right. It's like one of those things that people just like tick the box that they think they need to do, and they should do it.
Yeah, what's right?
Like I think like doing what like so the way people do it today is typically like a sales manager or a sales rep or the CEO will say, hey, like we should write a blog post about this. And the reality is that most of the time, the sales rep or even the marketer actually, no one really knows like what people are searching for. So I think there's like 2 things to work out is that like what is the content's purpose? if it's content that you want to like accelerate someone in the sales cycle, then sales is perfect to like speak to find out, hey, like what are the things that people are saying they don't like believe about us, or like comparisons to competitors, etc. But most of the time when people think of content marketing, they're not thinking about like content in the sense of assisting sales. They're thinking of it in terms of like awareness, driving traffic to then get leads. So the way that I always build these teams is like I like hire a really amazing SEO, someone with really good technical background, but more on like really good ability to like do keyword research with tools like SEMrush or Ahrefs, or there's a bunch of them. And then like that person builds a content team under them, because like typically people build content teams with like an editorial person running it, and like journalists that become like writers, they're beautiful at writing, but they have no fucking clue about like how to research keywords. And so that's kind of like the biggest secret really, is like don't let a content person run your content team, like have an SEO run your content team. So like we just hired someone, last year from Atlassian that like run content and SEO for them. And we had already built like the website significantly since then. Like I just like kind of brought the HubSpot playbook to G2. But now like we're seeing, pretty exceptional growth.